Alright, so I just finished part one and figure I'd continue on with it, go with part two. So this is Fogbound Newt, and yeah, go on with part two now. So my one buddy got shot between the eyes and miraculously survived. Like, fucking, this guy was Terminator, and you'll hear more about him and about how much this guy really is the fucking Terminator. Um, But yeah, so now he's using opiates. He's using not heroin, but oxycodone and things like that. And the one buddy that was living with him, the little Filipino general guy that I told you about, he is stuck in a shitty situation because he's stuck living with this guy. Now he was a former nurse and is trying to take care of him as much as possible. At the same time, he's like, man, I can't be around this. So I was like, you know what, man? Freaking, I got this big empty house. Come on over here and, pay me a little bit of rent and you can rent out one of the rooms here. And that started that. I didn't charge much. I charged him like $200 a month, which is like nothing. But I told him, like, hey, this place is in foreclosure. If the day comes where I tell you, like, look, we got to pack up and get out, got to pack up and get out. I was still working construction then, so I was still making money that way. And that's one big thing, man. Is I'm always getting money. I'm always able to hustle some sort of thing going on. And that time, it was running the spare bedrooms out of my house. And like I said, I had this 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house, fucking luxury mansion sort of place. So I moved him in, and that was ending off about 2010, with 2010 going into 2011 when all that was happening. So he moved in and got himself out of a bad situation. Now, another cool thing though is he had a scooter, which was fucking awesome, because now I could kind of, get by and borrow the scooter a little bit and kind of scoot around town. It was a little 49cc little Vespa piece of shit, or some Chinese brand or something like that. I don't mind. Like, fucking, it's wheels. I don't have nothing else. Granted, I could only use it every once in a blue moon, and he was trying to hook up with some other chick, so he was letting the chick use it as well. But it was kind of cool. One thing is, I never owned a vehicle. I was 21 years old, never owned a car, never owned a motorcycle, never owned anything. And so it was cool that I got to drive around a little bit. It was kind of exciting. So, but going on from there, you know, one buddy we're still trying to be supportive of, but he's in shitty circumstances, having to deal with that. I was still doing my thing, working construction, going to meetings, staying on the right path. And that one girl that I had the crush on, man, I was still trying to get with her and such, and hanging out with her and her friend, and they were off doing their own thing and such, and it was fun. I remember the Halloween party was pretty cool. I remember at the Halloween party that she had at her house, she made a cake and nobody wanted to eat it because she made a cat litter cake with like little fake turds in it, and it looked so realistic. Everybody was like, "Oh, no fucking way, fuck that shit." I'm not. Like, I didn't have a bite, but yeah, because it looked like real cat litter. Like somebody's going to fucking eat that shit. But going on from there, eventually, here's the next one to fall. She and her friend both relapsed and started doing pills and started doing coke and some other shit. I'm not too sure on all of it, but at least she had a good head on her shoulders. She brought herself up from that and got herself cleaned up again and came back into the rooms and all that, and even moved herself into a halfway house. At that time, she was living at her parents' place on the other end of town and such. So, yeah, she got herself in a little halfway house, made a new friend, And her new friend was dating this one guy that was a pretty cool guy. I met him a few times and got along with him okay. And me and him kicked it off real good, real quick. And he was, like another heroin type of guy and shit like that. So, and I don't know, something I guess clicked with her, and she suddenly realized like, oh man, he's still sober and still a good guy and still interested in me. I'm gonna start dating him. So me and her started dating, and I was like, damn, this is cool. I get to take her out and all that. Even though some of her friends were a little bit judgmental of me, and you know, there was like one time where I couldn't pay I paid. I think the dinner came out to $80, and I paid like 60 of it, and her friends were judging me because I couldn't pay the full dinner. And it was like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, Jesus Christ. However, though, I was nervous around chicks at that time, man. I've been locked up for 2 years. I was just getting back into dating and all that, and I was real nervous, so I would never close the deal, man. Oh man, and like it fucked with my head a bit. Like, god damn, man. And yeah, I never closed the deal, and I ended up just dating her and made out with her and shit like that, but never any more than that. Eventually, she got tired of it. She broke up with me, and yeah, that was about it. Whatever. She did it through a phone call and through a cell phone and such, so whatever. I was still friends with the one guy and his chick and all that, even though he kind of got on the same message with me and like broken off with that chick. But things were still going okay, and I was still making money doing construction. I also had, my one buddy renting from me, so I was able to make more money like that, and I had all my bills covered and such. Sorry, I'm out here on my patio out in the open, so there's shit going on, people driving by. I'm in town a bit now, and you can probably hear the buzzsaw in the background. Somebody's working on something over there. So yeah, that hurt a little bit, but whatever. Pick myself back up. That's the thing. Is like I always kind of just brush the dirt off my shoulders. Going on from there, though, I told my mother about some of the stuff that was going on. I ended up losing the construction job after a year of working that. So by then it's 2011. I'm just turning 21 years old, and my mother offers to pay for a trip to me, go visit her up in the Panhandle, up in North Florida, and go see her property and all that. And I took her up on that. Before I left town, though, my one buddy, the guy that was dating the chick and all that, he asked me like, "Hey man, can I borrow your bicycle while you're out of town? That way I can get around." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, man." And he was like telling me, "Oh, I'll straighten up the chain for you, I'll lube it up for you and all that." And I'm like, "All right." So I go to visit my mother up in North Florida, and that was an interesting trip. God damn, does she lived in the middle of fucking nowhere. Going up there on the Greyhound bus, it was like woods, prison, woods, another prison, more woods. That was going to visit her and such, and yeah, it was nice up there and such, and good little trip. She let me drive her Jeep around town, even though I didn't have a license, but it was cool. It was a '06 Grand Cherokee, so I'm not complaining. That's like brand new at that time. That was like, I think 2011 then, so that was still like a brand new Jeep and such. And she had a horse. I get to ride around on the horse, and then there was my dog Stanley, which I love my dog, and awesome dog. And so I come back into town. The one buddy that borrows my bicycle, he gives it back to me, all lubed up, chains fixed up and everything. And it was at a meeting that he confessed to me that why I was out of town. he borrowed my bicycle. He was actually going to see my ex, and apparently they're a thing now. I'm like, fuck, man, that's dirty, you know. I'm like, dude, you at least told me about it, but damn, that dagger's still sticking out of my back. But as I was to find out more and more, growing up with all this and seeing what exactly is going on, when you're hanging around the rooms and you're taking part in the meetings and you're taking part of all that, there's great people you're going to meet, there's great friends you're going to meet, but there's some dirty motherfuckers that are going to fucking treat you like dirt. And, fucking rob you behind your back, do crazy shit, sleep with your ex, and like this story. Which I was soon to find out. Anyways, that's going to end part 2.